everybody. Ooh. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bailey Kelly. I am an election support specialist in the Secretary of State's office. I started in June. I came from Johnson County as an elections technician there, so I see a lot of familiar faces in the office or in the audience, and I'm really proud to be able to bring that county experience into the Secretary of State's office. So when you call, you know that somebody is answering your emails and answering your questions that has done this before. So let's see. So this is just our agenda for today. We already talked with Ashley about the communications. We heard from the secretary. The first thing I'm going to talk about is our PEO media campaign that Ashley alluded to. I believe this is where your packets begin. So the packets that we handed out this morning include the slides. So we'll just go ahead and jump into the presentation from here. So we are launching a statewide media campaign featuring PEOs from across the state. And this is a tentative branding. This may change. We're still sort of all in flux and what it's going to look like, but I just wanted to show you how much energy and resources and time we are putting into making this look professional and exciting. We really want to make sure that we are highlighting you, your counties, your PEOs, the work that you folks do. And hopefully you've seen my emails about this. I did ask for nominations for your counties about PEOs that you think are stellar. And we have received really great response from that. And yeah, we're just really excited about putting this out on social media, more traditional media. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is something that specifically myself and Ashley and our projects team is really focused on right now. We're very excited about it, and we're trying to put a lot of resources into it before we really get into election mode. So from that email that you received from me, we have had 54 nominations from 19 counties. I'd love to see more. Keep the nominations coming. I know that I set a deadline because we always have to have deadlines, but this is not a deadline set in code. So be sure to, if you have anything else that you can think of, please feel free to email me or just respond to that link from the original email. I'm still checking it every day to see if any more have come in. We're going to produce 10 videos. They're going to be about 2 to 3 minutes long. We're going to make sure that we hit all 6 districts across the state. So there's lots of other factors that go into this, right? We want PEOs from various backgrounds, different kinds of experiences. So some of the things that I asked you about was, right, who's your longest serving PEO? Who is a new PEO that has really stepped up and really been engaged? Do you have anybody who just has an interesting story to tell? So these are the kinds of things that we're looking for. We want to accurately reflect the kinds of PEOs that we have across the state of Iowa while showcasing that anybody in their community can be a PEO. And we're really trying to get them to talk about what brought them to this work, what kind of interesting stories do they have to tell us about the work, what do they want people to know about the work, because our primary goal for this is to remind Iowans that Iowa elections are secure, they're fair, and they're accurate. And they will know this because they see their friends, their neighbors, their family, their loved ones being poll workers. It's easy to sort of read headlines and think, oh, this must be happening in my state as well. But then you actually go to the polls and you see the people that are actually working them. You learn a little bit about the process. You learn about the trainings that they receive from their auditors' offices. You learn about the support that they receive. You learn about how dedicated they are to this work, how seriously they take it. That sort of dissipates all of that uncertainty. So that's our primary goal for this, but also we obviously want to turn this into great recruitment materials. We know that next year we're going to have to definitely ramp up PEO recruitment. So the first sort of launch is going to be primarily focused on that. Right, reminding folks why Iowa elections are so safe and secure. But this is going to be a very long-term project. We're going to turn these videos into other materials that we can use moving forward for PEO recruitment. And so if anybody is interested, or if you have responded, or if I've already been in communication with you, just a little brief overview of what the logistics of the interview itself looks like. I'm taking care of coordinating with the PEOs and your offices to schedule things, to see what works for everybody. So when I get a response from a PEO that says this is my availability, then I'll reach out to you. And all we're really asking for from you folks is a couple of hours in a hopefully semi-private space. We'll bring all of the equipment. We'll take care of confirming with the PEOs. We will manage all of that. All we need is some very minimal staff resources and pretty-ish. I mean, we've been in a couple of places that maybe aren't the prettiest, and we can make the most of it. So don't worry about any of that. So yeah, we want to make this as easy as possible for you. We're not adding any work onto your offices. And then our media plan is sort of in the process of getting determined. So we're definitely going to primarily push this on social media. So traditionally just like posting it from our page, but also some paid ads. We also really want to try to engage with your local markets through press releases, through reaching out to local television stations, specific newspapers, things like that. Whatever sort of makes sense for your context in your county. We want to just get as much as we can out of this. I think this is going to be a really great story to tell because that's really the focus, right? We want to remind people that things are safe and fair for these reasons, but the way that we want to frame these videos is telling the story of the PEO. How did they get into it? What makes it important for them? What would they say to young people that want to get involved? Things like that. And it is going to be sort of a rolling schedule. So, we have been in a couple of counties already this week. We were in Madison County. We were in Audubon County yesterday. And we've had great experiences so far. Diana can confirm that I cried yesterday during, during the interview that we had because the participant was just so inspirational. So we have a really great feeling about this. And it's just sort of going to be scheduling the interviews, getting them filmed, sending them to our videographer, and then we will start rolling them out on social media and coordinating with you folks and keeping you in the loop. So if you have a PEO that's selected to participate, we will be in close contact from the scheduling perspective and also from the release perspective. So that's sort of how all of that is going to work. And there may be a little bit of a break. We do have the city school coming up, so we're going to have a little bit more of a focus on things that are election specific. So we may, have to take a break between October and then after the election. But that's sort of what the PEO media campaign looks like. Do we have any questions about that before we move on to the next topic? Okay. Again, I just want to say, please, if you have anybody that you didn't submit, or if you have somebody. Another thing, if you have somebody that you submitted and you don't think you sold their case enough, if you think you could give a little more of a pitch, I did notice that some of the responses were a little bit generic, just like how long they've worked. So if you feel passionate about one of your PEOs participating, please let me know about that just by email or filling out the form again. I'm not gonna care about that. So, all right.